Hey, it's Nintenbros.
Hi!
What's going on, podcast listeners, and welcome back to another Nintenbros podcast episode. And today we are going to be going into detail the history of speedrunning, the who developed it, the why it was developed, the how it was developed, and everything in between, because today's episode is all about speedrunning. Here we are. We are in the presentation corner of our speed running presentations. I got mine up. Homie Lo has his up. We do not have the same presentation, obviously. It's two separate ones, so it might be a little like back and forth here and there, but we're going to do our best to just seamlessly go through our presentation. So here we go. Speed running, the history of it. Homie Lo, what was going on before speedrunning was actually a thing?
All right, so before speedrunning was a thing, right? Obviously, you got to have the video games in order to speedrun. Like, you know, you can't eat an apple if you don't have the apple. So
correct.
Before speedrunning, there may be technically a different correct answer, but the most often thing people think of when they think of the first video game is Pong, right? I'm pretty sure you probably, you know, if I asked you what the first video game was, you'd probably say Pong.
Something like that, yeah. I'm not an expert on first video games because I wasn't around back then, thank gosh, but...
Yeah, it's just like, you know, the universally accepted first video game. There may be a different correct answer, like I said. So after Pong releases, I guess a different company called like Taito releases a game called Speed Race. And then, you know, it's pretty much just the arcade era of arcade games and whatnot. But then Sega and Nintendo get on scene, and the rest is just pretty much history. So that's how everything starts. It starts with Pong, goes into Speed Race with all the arcade stuff, and then Sega and Nintendo come. And then,
perfect.
Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. So after Nintendo and Sega come through, they start producing games, and then we get this idea and structure of what actually speedrunning is. So what is speedrunning? Speedrunning is when an individual attempts to beat parts or all parts of a video game as quickly as possible. This can include individual levels, specific objectives, or unique limitations as decided by the community that they set for it or the player.
Yeah, there are tons of different kinds of speed runs. Like, you look it up on a website, you know, pretty much any website, and you can, like, filter through just a bunch of categories. So,
and you have different kinds of speed runs for different games. Literally, I'm pretty sure you could speed run any game. It might just be a lot less popular for some of them, but I'm pretty sure you can speedrun any game.
Yeah, you can speedrun like that Family Guy game on the GameCube. So, you know, if you're going to speedrun, why would you do it? You know, that's a big part. You know, you got to have a prompt to want to do so. So why you would speedrun might include, they've been around, speedruns have basically been around for as long as video games have existed, because speedrunning in general is just like nature of humans to want to beat games as fast as possible. Because, you know, when we were kids, we used to we wanted both Pokemons so we could see who could beat it faster. And sometimes we would even do it.
We did a lot.
Yeah, we would do that a lot. And, you know, that's basically a speed run, like who can do it faster. So it's really been around for like as long as Pong has existed. But people also love the personal achievement when they complete a speed run, as well as being on the top of the speed run leaderboards. Again, that's like human nature. They want to be the best. That's the reason for a lot of stuff. But speedrunning also offers many ways to play a game over and over. Many games may become stale after being beat for the first time. But speedrunning gives it more life and more of an opportunity to learn the game's ins and outs. So, you know, just gives a lot of more content to a game. So
I 100% agree with you, because just take, for example, a very popular speedrunning game is Super Mario 64 or Super Mario Odyssey, I actually found out. And you can beat that game like one time and you'll get the full experience of it. You can get all 120 stars or however many moons there are in Odyssey. But if you take it to the speedrun level and standards, you do that one time, great. Now do it again faster. You found a better route, great. Now do it even faster the third time. It gives it endless replayability to just keep getting better and better. And
people like that. That's fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. It also helps you get the most bang for your buck, I guess.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Let's talk about what the different types of speedrunning are. The most common types of speedrunning is 100%ing, any percenting, glitchless, or TAS, which is Tools Assisted Speedrun. So 100%ing is obviously completing the entire game, including all objectives, lists, side quests, and any additional challenges the community discusses beforehand. Any percenting a game is beating the game as quickly as possible or finding the shortest way to the goal, often through the use of tricks and glitches. This is famous or Pokemon Red and Blue are pretty famous for this. You also have glitchless speedruns, so that would definitely throw off a lot of people in the Pokemon game. Glitchless is basically avoiding using any glitches to beat the game. Pretty self-explanatory. You can still use tricks, but you won't need to learn anything considered a glitch by the community. The last one is the TAS. Tools Assisted Speedrun means playing the game as fast as possible through the use of technical aids in extreme slow motion. So the game, the technology that people have while playing the game, if you have like Super Mario Bros. 3 up on the computer, emulating it or whatever, you can go frame by frame to manipulate how you want Mario to act in the fastest way possible to get through the level. And now this...
Wow.
Yeah,
might take a long time.
Oh yeah, it takes a very long time. Thousands of save states, so the people are working on it forever. It's supposed to show what the game is capable of, kind of like the proof of concept. Like, oh, you come to me and say Super Mario Bros. 3 can't be beat in 10 minutes, like 100%. And then someone with a TAS speedrun who has every input down correctly without a mistake, timing everything, and then you watch it, they can beat it in like a little over 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. You look at them and you're like, man, this is not real, because they're not. Like, humans can't do perfect for like the entire game.
Yeah, no, it's impossible.
So tool assisted speedruns lets you see what a perfect run through the game looks like. And personally, I think it's really cool. I don't know if it should be like a speedrun. It might just be classified, or should be classified, as something completely different.
Yeah.
Because it is a little misleading.
Yeah,
if it's
is
under
because
speedrun categories, because you literally can't beat that.
Yeah, because like if you're putting it frame by frame, no matter what anyone wants to do, if you know the correct way to do it, then no one can beat that. So
yes. And now we can't show videos on podcasts, but I did have a video of Super Mario Bros. 3 being beaten in 5 minutes and 20 seconds through a TAS gameplay. And it may have been the original, it may have been 3, I forget which. But...
No, I think that's 3, because I do have records down at the very end, and I do have Super Mario Bros. 3 at like a 3 minute, so...
Wow.
Yeah.
Moving right along, what makes a game suitable to speedrun for you?
What makes a game suitable to speedrun? Well, guys, if you're gonna speedrun a game, you might want to make it one that you actually enjoy and get fulfillment out of. But what else make a good game to speedrun? Well, it has to have exciting gameplay. You know, you're not like a game like, I don't know. Well, people speedrun anything, but a game with like a bunch of dialogue is not going to be, you know, your fancy, because it's just boring. So there's that. Little to no grinding as well. You know, Pokemon kind of probably fits this one. If you're going for like 100% and whatnot, you got to get those high level Pokemon. But people still do it, but it's often less thought of because you have to grind a lot. Fun/crazy strategies to pull off, make it more interesting, and make a game suitable to speedrun, because you can do awesome things, and there's like a lot of room to get a higher time or a lower time if you can do the strategy right. It has to have actual skill, because if there's no actual skill and it's just all luck or something, then it's, you know, it's like kind of boring. So
yeah, no one wants to see you like speedrun a poker game based on like, oh, you got a really good hand this time? Great, you can just go to the end. They want to see like something that you have to go step by step.
Yeah, and it's like intense, and you actually have to have the skill. Like, for example, any Mario game really, Mario Galaxy, Mario Odyssey, you have to know like how to do all the stuff. Because I know in Mario Odyssey you can like flip your cap, jump on it, and like do that repeatedly. I don't know how in the world I basically completed that game without doing that. But besides that, there also has to be little RNG, random number generator, because you don't want to have to pray for luck and not get it. That'd be bad. It also has to be generally well liked and enjoyed by the community, or else you're not going to really have anyone helping you, or, you know, throwing you out tips or whatever.
Perfect. I like that explanation a lot. I can carry on to talk about some beginner games that you might want to try out if you're new to speedrunning, and then some super popular games that a lot of people speedrun right now. So beginner games include Super Mario World. That's the SNES version. I'm currently playing through that on my YouTube channel right now. Shout out my own YouTube channel. It's fine, Onabo97. Also, Super Mario Odyssey is a very good beginner speedrunning game, believe it or not, because...
Not for me.
They're very just like snip-bit moons that you can grab. Like, you know how Galaxy, you had to go into the level to get 1 star every single time, so many cutscenes? Like, Super Mario Odyssey kind of does away with all that, and that's why people are trying to speedrun that now, because there's so much more opportunity to shave off time versus Galaxy. Another very beginner-friendly game is the original Super Mario Bros. Another one is Portal, and then
Portal.
Donkey Kong Country, and basically any beginner game could be any game that you love and feel comfortable with, like you said at the beginning.
Yeah, Mario Galaxy for sure. One day I want to try and speedrun that.
I want to start speedrunning games as well. I was doing research on this, and I'm like, you know what? It would be so cool to just try and see how fast I can speedrun Super Mario Bros. 3 World 1. Just World 1. And then,
I basically done a speedrun. Sorry to cut you off, but I basically done like speedruns with Super Meat Boy.
Yes.
World 1, I'm pretty sure I've gotten very close to like the best time on World 1.
That's crazy. It's super cool. Moving on, though. Popular games that are speedrun right now is Super Mario 64. I think it's the champion right now. It has the most speedruns.
I can never do that. Nope.
I would love to do that game. I know it's because our nostalgia lays different places. Mine's towards Super Mario 64. Yours is toward Galaxy. But I would love to do that one day.
Yeah.
Portal. I actually thought about speedrunning Portal once I saw it. I was like, you know what? That's a perfect game to just try. It's lightly puzzle-based. You just got to get down your aiming and the maneuvers, and it seems a lot of fun. I would want to do that.
Yeah, I got to play that game again. That's a great game. Side note.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of these games also just like are the same. Like beginner games go well with popular games. It's just the nature of it.
Yeah.
Popular game. Next one is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. You wouldn't originally think of this because it's so just like massive. But so is Super Mario 64. And also, The Legend of Zelda has a lot of like glitches that you can do to make it go a lot faster.
Any older game has a lot more glitches and stuff.
Yep, and then another popular one is Super Mario Odyssey. You got GoldenEye 007, and then you also have Pokemon Red and Blue.
Yeah.
Those are extremely popular games. Does that mean they're beginner friendly? Not necessarily. It doesn't mean that you want to start diving into GoldenEye 007 just because it's a popular game.
Yeah.
You should lean towards stuff that you have nostalgia feelings for, and any game that you just love and feel comfortable with. Like you said, like I've said, because you're gonna play this game monotonously or whatever for so long. You're gonna put hours into this, and if you don't have any sort of pull towards it, that's rough. That's not good.
Unless you're making big money and you can afford to, just do whatever game you want. You're probably gonna want to do a game that you actually like. So,
absolutely, moving right along. Let's talk about how speedrunning started and the first speedrun.
The first technical speedrun was Dragster, and it was actually prompted. Let's slow down. A game called Dragster. It's basically, like a car racing game. I don't know much more about it besides that. I saw the gameplay of it.
Atari.
Yeah. I saw a little bit of gameplay of it. It doesn't look like a game I'd like, but it looks like an arcade game. And it was actually prompted by Activision to do so, to be speedrun. And it even had a contest where you could send your times into Atari or Activision, I think, and stuff like that.
Manual stated that anyone who sent a picture in with a score under 6.2 seconds will join the company's world-class Dragster club. So that was the first game ever to be made to be a timer contest. Yes, people were speedrunning games before or trying to go as fast as possible, but Activision Dragster from the 1980 literally made it a contest, and that's crazy. That's basically what kind of started the speedballing of speedrunning happening. Yeah. Because the snowball was there, but Dragster kind of pushed it to start. All right, next, how did it start evolving? Well, the first major takeoff that made the snowball go from like a head size of the snowman to like the body size of the snowman was Doom. Doom was huge. Doom kind of made it so that you had savable gameplay demo. It was like, this happened in the 1990s early, so there was no capture cards.
Yeah, exactly.
There was no YouTube. There was barely internet, kind of. So savable gameplay demo was huge when Doom came out. And you were able to make footage and share it back to people, and the file sizes were small enough for you to just do it effectively, which is really cool. Something unheard of for games before. And originally the developers were like, we thought it'd just be cool to show off nice death matches. But this kind of evolved into people wanting to just beat the game as fast as they can, save the gameplay demo, and then show it to people.
Yeah, they basically want to show off, because that's what humans want to do, and they want to be the best, so.
Absolutely. What else do you have for it?
All right, well, different challenges also started to arise from this, such as the Tyson challenge, where people would go through the same game called Doom, and they would just only punch the enemies and stuff and use a knife and not use their actual gun, and see how fast they can beat it that way. And like you said, players can play, capture, and share their runs way before game capture technology. So kind of it wasn't coincidence, but it kind of was a game capture before the game capture. And Compete N was was started, which had scores for Doom player speedruns, which was a website online. And this was the first major speedrunning website in history.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I got from the video as well. Also, originally the communities were focused on different challenges, like you said, like the Tyson challenge. Like, let's see people beat it that way. But once that whole effect kind of wore off, like there were so many people completing the Tyson challenge, that's when the standard of speed became the medal of excellence. So, like, people were like, oh, you did the Tyson challenge? Okay, so did I. Okay, how quick did you do it? Basically, it set you apart when you did a challenge in 4 minutes versus like 6 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's how speedrunning kind of kept the measurement of first place and second place going. What's next, though? What happens after?
Well, after Doom, it actually goes into another game, which is, basically the same thing.
Yes, it's Quake. Quake is the next big step for speedrunning. It took to the whole game instead of individual challenges. So basically...
Well, it started with just the sections of the games again, but actually the website creator did stitch all the levels together in the game.
Yeah.
That's how that happened. So they could, instead of just doing segments of the game, they could actually do the whole game.
So, who created that? Nolan Radix's team orchestrated that whole thing. Nolan Radix is a cool guy. He created Speed Demo Archive to the webs, and that was just a speedrun website.
Yeah, that became the main hub for the speedrunning scene, and they actually began to accept multiple speedruns of games, like... Not multiple speedruns of a game, but like multiple games that you could speedrun. Yeah.
Because originally it was just run by his team, and then his team was only knowledgeable with like Quake and Metroid Prime and Doom and a handful of other games.
Yeah.
But then like it got so popular that people were handing in games of like Banjo-Kazooie and other stuff. And he was like, man, we're going to have to start making a verification process. He made it more of a community-centered website versus just a him-run website.
Yeah, which is good.
It was crazy. It was very cool.
Yeah. But after Quake and everything, Metroid Prime does release, like we just said, and people begin to speedrun that and even send times to Nintendo Power, which I don't know if Nintendo Power did anything with that. I don't actually know, but, it's important that they actually sent times to Nintendo Power, which was a Nintendo magazine.
Did you ever get a Nintendo Power?
No, I did not.
Man, I have Nintendo Powers. They're cool.
And this was also the first game that people could use a game capture in order to record their gameplay and upload it.
Which one, the Metroid?
They started to actually do that, yeah.
All right, so after Metroid hits the scene and people start speedrunning that, what comes out? Well, Morimoto published a Super Mario Bros. 3 gameplay, beating it in 11 minutes and 3 seconds. And at first everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Did you see it? It was basically like America's Funniest Home Videos back in the day. Like, everyone watched it.
Yeah, people thought it was real. People did not know it was actually a tool-assisted speedrun at first. And people were going crazy because they were like, wow, this is just insane,
Afterwards, when Morimoto disclosed that it was a tool-assisted speedrun, it did help to bring awareness to that type of speedruns and the proof of concept for how fast can a game actually be speedrun. So the popularity surged for all types of speedruns, not just tool-assisted, but for all types afterwards, and initiated more games becoming ran, and a verification process was born because it boomed so much because of that video. Believe it or not, this video was basically like the final snowballing effect, or like one of the final few snowballing effects to make speedrunning so popular.
Yeah. This wasn't actually the first tool-assisted speedrun. However, it was the one, like you said, that did bring light to the tool-assisted speedruns and everything like that. But actually, the tool-assisted speedruns, let me say it for a third time, did actually get a negative rap from this because, they thought it was all real at first, but they didn't realize it was actually the tool assisted instead. So it kind of gave that kind of speedrun a negative
vibe a little bit.
Vibe, yeah, and people didn't like them as much from there on out, but actually just, it's just a different category, so.
After all that went down in the vibes and then back up in the vibes. So basically, once we get to the late 2000s and the early 2010s, live streaming becomes very popular, very prevalent. And what's weird is that instead of practicing for hours and hours, you're speed running to try and make it the best that it can be in solitude. People would probably just sit at their desk, sit at their couch, play the game, do it 3-4 times, and then call it a night. Now you go on YouTube Live or Twitch and you have spectators watch you as you speedrun a game.
Yeah.
So it takes it from a solitary experience to more of a audience experience too, which is very cool.
That grows the community a ton too. And that makes like speed running grow from a simple hobby that someone may do and post it up on the leaderboards maybe if you get a good time, from like actually a spectator sport like you said, and where people can watch it and people are rooting for you and people want to see you succeed, and they also stream and they can get that instant gratification that they actually did it instead of having to go through the verification process.
My next segment is, what is it about speedrunning that makes it so popular? And yours goes into depth about marathons.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about speedrunning, what makes it popular right now. I got down 3 things. These are the top 3 things that just make it the most popular, in my opinion. The competitiveness, the nature in it. Sports. People watch sports because there's a winner and a loser.
Yeah, exactly.
People play sports because they want to win. The ability to win and the ability to lose is competitiveness, and that's what drives speedrunning. Everyone wants to be the best.
Yeah, 100%. That's like probably the main thing that drives speedrunning, because like you said, that like the origin of speedrunning is that people want to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's always
also,
what they want.
Nostalgia. Think about it. When you go and speedrun a game, a lot of times you're thinking old games like Super Mario Bros. 64 or Super Mario Bros. 3 or Legend of Zelda or Pokemon Blue. You're thinking old games because this has nostalgia. And nostalgia usually means you are fond of something a lot. It's one of your favorite older games. So speedrunning is popular because not only do people want to play the games that they love, but they also get that nostalgia feeling of just like being a kid again and doing something they like.
Yeah,
also,
exactly.
Huge thing nowadays is the community behind speedrunning. As speedrunning continues to grow and grow, the community grows and grows. So if you dive into a Super Mario Bros. 3 speedrun and you get into the Reddit forums, you get into like the speedrunning websites of Super Mario Bros. 3, you're surrounding yourself with a community of like-minded people who also like Super Mario Bros. 3 so much. And that's contagious. That makes you just want to keep going and going. And that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
But now, talk about some marathons. What is a marathon?
So a marathon is speed running multiple games at once, and it became a big thing within the community. At first, it was just done by, this wasn't their like name back then. I think back then it was Classic Games Done Quick. Now it's Games Done Quick, just because they do stuff outside of Classic. But it led to an event called Awesome Games Done Quick, where they would play multiple games throughout a few days as fast as possible and raise money for charity. They started out raising like $1,000 or $10,000, but this actually grew into like a big thing, and they raised like millions of dollars for like St. Jude. So that's very cool. And this eventually grew to the internet, where they would also just do marathons. I know I've seen people go through every Resident Evil game. That's like a type of marathon or whatever.
Wow, how long does that usually take?
It takes a long time, but you'd be surprised at how fast people can just like do these games. Like, I don't remember specifically, but it did not seem like a long time for beating 1 through 8 Resident Evil.
Is it all one sitting, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I mean, I didn't watch it all, but I would assume so. Because people, they can do games quick. That's what a speedrun is. But, yeah, they would do marathons or just multiple games at once, whatever you want to do, whatever in that, like, subgenre and stuff, so.
Some different sources to check out if you guys are interested in speedrunning is go check out the Speed Demos Archive. That was obviously one of the websites that we talked about earlier that Radix made. It's still up and doing really well. There's still lots of games to go check out. You can also check out the very basic www.speedrun.com. That'll give you a good overview of stuff.
Very nice URL.
Yeah, you can go check out Compete N, which was the first one that really skyrocketed speedrunning. And then you can also check out Games Done Quick, which homie Lo just talked about. They actually have their own website, and you can understand what their organization is all about and see all the statistics they pulled.
Yeah, they actually do games very quickly, so.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's not actually slow.
Play Battleship, a board game.
No.
Oh.
No. Okay. Maybe. They might in their free time, though. All right. Well, the last thing I got for you is some notable records. There's going to be a lot of notable records. I tried to get the Doom World record, but I was just confused by all the categories. Like, the main one I could find was, like, UV finished, and I didn't know what that was. So I stuck with some classics. So for Super Mario Bros., the original, this is any platform, any percent. We got Nifsky in first place, 4 minutes, 54 seconds, and this is important because, this is a big record nowadays, 881 milliseconds. Now, to put that in perspective real quick, the second best record behind Nifsky is Miniland, who comes in at 4 minutes as well, 54 seconds as well, and just about like 40 milliseconds more at 914. That is how tight this record is.
Imagine being Miniland, right? Like, okay, I hold this really nice world record, and then all of a sudden this other homie comes through and he's like, ha, milliseconds beating you.
I know, that is rough, but that just shows you how close this record is. I know I've watched a video on this before a long time ago, the history of the Super Mario Bros. Speedrun, the 454, whether they're going to be able to achieve a 453. It is crazy. You can look that up. It's like an hour long. I'm pretty sure the same kind of guy publishes the speedrun types of videos, which are super cool. So yeah.
Do you remember what he said? Like, will they be able to?
I think he said at the ending that 454 was like as much as info they could get right now, and like it's gonna be really tough to beat it unless they find anything else that's like game breaking. But we'll see. We're always evolving. I think the new record by Nifsky was done like a couple months ago or something. So
and that game is like 40 years old now.
Yeah.
So there's potential to beat it. We just don't know what we need to do yet.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Another one, Super Mario Bros. 3, like we were talking about. I don't know how to say his name, like Cizik Buki, but he did that any percent again, 3 minutes, 2 seconds, and 383 milliseconds. I think that was the one we just watched too.
That was the one we just watched. And you know what? He did this little trick in World 7-1 that I've never seen before.
Me neither.
And I was like, what's he doing? This is fake. But then he beat the game, and I'm like, wow. I guess this is real.
It's any percent. I guess it goes. It's crazy. So yeah, my last one I got here is Metroid Prime by T3. Any percent is an hour, 6 minutes, and 50 seconds. No milliseconds here because, when you get into the hours, you don't need the milliseconds. So yeah, I don't know why that's so much longer. I guess they just haven't found like a game-breaking thing yet. But
you're right.
Yeah.
But does that tie up your presentation? Is there any more?
It does. I just want to quickly shout out the guy who did give me basically the video that I used. If I can get to it real quick, I can't see it currently, but
Oh no, I will talk about the future of speedrunning.
Great, sounds great. Yeah.
So the future of speedrunning is going to happen. We are not done.
Of course.
I do not think speedrunning is going to end. It's going to continue because of the competitive nature, but also become more creative. So basically, more ideas that we have right now are blind speedruns. This is a speedrun where the player completes a game they do not know as fast as they can. So that's like you and me getting Legends of Arceus together day one that it drops, and basically just trying to see who can beat it the best.
Yeah.
And that's a blind speedrun, and that's pretty cool. So it's more commonly called blind races just because a speedrun usually means that you perfected it a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
So blind races, and a lot of the times it's trying to beat your friends. Or
that'd
others.
be cool. There's a lot of games out there, so
yeah, I'd be down.
A lot of potential.
Also, you have randomized runs, which is the collectibles and the important items are in random locations of a familiar game. So think about Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. People probably know in like their head and the back, like they know everything in that game.
Yeah.
But imagine if you were in the same place, Hyrule, but the sword that you needed was in a different spot. It takes the level or the game to a new level, and it's pretty cool. I like that.
For sure. That is cool. Yeah.
You also have multi-game speedrun, basically marathons, and then you have speedrun races, which is a face-off between two players to see who can beat the game quicker. And that's different than blind speedruns, just because speedrun races is like, okay, you and me, we both know Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire pretty well.
Yeah.
We both would be able to race through that. That's a speedrun race versus a blind speedrun where we wouldn't know.
All right, fantastic. I know we watched the same video, so quick shout out to Did You Know Gaming in the video called The History of Speedrunning, Did You Know Gaming, featuring Remix. Great video, was actually really cool to watch. I enjoyed it a lot and based pretty much the whole presentation off it except the first few slides, so yeah.
Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed that video too. Go check it out for more information. But without further ado, let's head over to that corner where we talk about what's new and what we've been playing. Homie Low.
Hey,
so,
how you doing?
What is new in gaming world for you? It's actually been 2 weeks since we've talked about this because last week was our 1 year special and we didn't talk about what's new. So think back to before February. Let's talk late January to now. What's new in your collection, if anything?
I don't think anything is.
Not a webcam? Or did you already have that?
I think I already had that. I don't remember.
Okay.
But, I'm on YouTube again if you want to go check me out at Onaship. I just posted a new video. It's pretty cool. It has like 3 views so far, so,
It's all right.
Get some more views on it, please. No, you don't have to, but just hear me out. It's good.
Go do it.
It's good. The quality's up. You can actually hear me correctly. There's no controller noises. You can see me good. It's not blurry. The webcam moves around. It's pretty nice. So go check that out. But besides that, nothing is new.
On my department, I got Pokemon Legends of Arceus.
I wish I had to say that. Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. I have thoroughly been enjoying it. It's a completely different vibe than what I thought it was going to be. I knew they were switching up the game series, but literally, homie goes around like rolling while you're like avoiding Pokemon, and he sounds like Link, and it gives off like Breath of the Wild feel, but like Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I've been playing it a little bit, not too much because I am diligently working through Paper Mario, but
yeah,
I have played it and I do like it. So that's what's new with me. Other than that, no new games, no new features. Let's talk about what we've been playing this week. What's going on with you?
What have I been playing? Well, not Paper Mario, actually. I have been playing Heyday. So
a lot of Heyday.
A lot of Heyday.
You know, for someone who has a podcast about gaming, you play a lot of mobile games. You play a lot of
listen, I go to school. I have like 2 free blocks. I just don't got a lot to do there. So I just play some Heyday.
Sure.
But what else have I been playing? I think I've been playing some Smash Ultimate for my channel and whatnot. That was fun to get into again. Funny story, I was playing a lot of Smash Ultimate off camera before I actually recorded. And as soon as I started recording, I lost 3 in a row.
You got like cold feet.
Yeah. It was rough. It sucked, but it's okay.
Other than that, just those 2 games?
I think so. I wanted to play more Stardew Valley because I had like a random 500 gold ore sitting around, and I know I could advance in that game, but just haven't been drawn back to it yet. So we'll see.
I feel that. I have not either. I have kind of tucked away Stardew Valley for the time being. Throughout this week, last 2 weeks, I've been playing Paper Mario, and that's very fun. I would highly recommend getting into that game.
Oh yeah.
Before the last week, because it is kind of a lengthy game, but it is fun and it goes pretty quick.
Oh, maybe you can speedrun that one.
I could. I was honestly thinking about just like trying.
That's like, I know that game pretty good. The hardest part of that game is like not the 7th stage with like the ice and stuff. I think maybe it is the 7th one. Whatever has the rain clouds and the tree stuff, that is so difficult. That boss is tough.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you how that is come time when I beat it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've been playing Pokemon Legends of Arceus a little bit, and then lastly, Super Mario World and Super Mario Maker 2. Playing those games a lot for my channel, and really been enjoying Super Mario Maker 2, believe it or not. I started playing that like without even recording. I just like it.
Really?
Yeah, it's fun. I just go through, try to beat super expert levels, try to hone my skills a little bit more.
That's good.
I'd rather beat really impressive levels than just mediocre levels for my people. So
yeah, for sure. That's good.
That's all I've got. That's what's new. That's what we've been playing. How about you just wrap this podcast up and take us home?
All right, guys. Well, I think that was Nintenbros number 53 now. We are past the 52nd anniversary, as I like to say. Make sure to check out our socials at Nintenbros6 on Twitter, Nintenbros93 on the Instagram. And we need to, we say it all the time. We got to post more on TikTok, but hopefully we'll be there sometime. So check that out. You can check out all my socials at Onaship, YouTube again, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I post usually every day on mostly everything. So find me over there. And for you, we've already done.
Check me out at Onabo97. I'm on the gram. I'm on Twitter now. I actually do post a lot on Twitter. It's kind of cool. Most of the time it is like retweeting Homie Low stuff.
Yeah, I saw myself like retweet like 3 times.
It's fine.
I was working on my presentation and I saw stuff like retweeted. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, I try to get the level.
It's okay though. I like it.
Yeah. Also, Onvo97 on the YouTube. Just redid my channel banner and my channel icon. Go check that out.
Oh yeah, it looks nice.
Really nice. Other than that, that's it for me.
All right, guys. Well, it's been Nintenbros number 53. Speedrunning, everything about speedrunning. We hope you have enjoyed. Go speedrun a game. Tell us your favorite game to speedrun, and we will see you all next time.
All right. Bye.